why do we keep spending all this money
That we don't have.
going
in
to
my case.
Disney, and then when we're back from Disney, pining for Disney,
Yeah.
or pining for Orlando, and what is it that makes it so special? So I suppose the thing to talk about first would be the first time we went, or how many trips we've done. So I am now 4 trips.
If you count the child, count the time you were a child, yes.
Well, yeah, I count that. It counts. It's when my Disney obsession started.
We're not that old that we can't remember back
I
that
know.
far. Was Disney even open back then?
At my age, no.
No.
Not like when the kids at school say to me, was there like black and white TV when you were born, Mrs.
Wow.
Smith?
Rude.
Anyway,
But to them, I suppose, it's anything over about 20
yeah, it is old.
isn't it? Yeah.
So yeah, I'm 4 trips. One when I was 12, I want to say. And then I've done 3 as a family. Well, how many have you done?
5, 2 Disney, 3 Orlando.
See, mine were all Orlando, but
3.
You're 3.
With you.
With me. yeah, I'm looking at you like I don't know how many Disney trips you did.
Yeah.
And I suppose you are kind of the outliner.
Stop! Save it! We're going to do it, aren't we? We're going to have a talk about it.
We're recording.
Oh, okay, I've just ruined it now. Okay,
No,
I've
it's
ruined
fine.
it
If we
now.
worked out on the edit, it's fine.
So, you are the outliner because I was always a Disney kid. Like, my mum was a Disney kid. I remember watching Disney films when I was little. You always quite like... no?
Not... Yeah, no, we did. Oh no, we are showing our age now because there were DVDs when I was small. It was video, which didn't come in until I was about... I'm not talking about that. Anyway, so yeah, but I didn't have like lots of Disney toys, and we had a few films, but I wasn't watching it loads. And what
Okay.
did Disney for me was accidentally going to Disney.
Okay. And you're the same, aren't you? Because
Oh, very much.
our Disney experience was me going, let's go to Disney, and you going, okay. And then, yeah.
When we booked our first trip, I thought we would be spending more time at Universal than we would be at Disney. Because we
Yeah.
had tickets for both.
That's what I thought first time I went.
But then you broke me with the early trip.
Yes. So, for the the people watching who don't...
Hello, camera people.
Hello.
So we booked our first Disney holiday as a family, and we were due to go in the summer holidays, and then we had a really good circumstance which meant that we were able to then go for another week before that in the Easter holidays.
So we
went-
booked one trip, and before we went on that trip, we booked another one.
Yeah, I can't
That's the best way to
remember
do it, surely.
how that came about.
You guilted me into staying on property.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I really wanted to stay on property. I wanted to do Disney dining, the Disney dining pass, and I really wanted to do it. So we did it, which was
And now here we are.
And here we are, several years later.
still wanting to go back, and
Yeah.
I still am obsessed with staying on Disney property. Every time we talk about doing Disney, I'm the one saying, "Why don't we stay on property?" And everybody else is going, because it doesn't work for us. And I'm like, but
Well,
please.
it depends on circumstances, and that's a whole raft
whole
of
other
discussion in
video,
itself.
yeah.
But yeah, you've got the comparison about your transport and your parking and
Yeah.
food and all that kind of stuff.
You see,
Sorry.
Peter pays Paul, etc.
for me, this is a little bit, it's the cost of it when you're already paying out for your flights and your park tickets. And I'm sure we'll talk about sometime the comparative cost of Disney and of Orlando and Paris. But when you go to Orlando, you're not just going for Disney. You maybe are going for Universal and or the SeaWorld parks and or the Space Centre and or the myriad of other stuff, the shopping experiences, other stuff in Florida that isn't necessarily too far out. Whereas most of the time when people go to Paris, they're going just for that because you go for like 2, 3, 4 nights. So to me, I would stay on property going to Paris. I wouldn't, if someone said, have a free trip, but you have to stay at this other hotel, I wouldn't go, no, you can take your free trip, I'm not interested. But then it becomes the immersive experience because you've not got as much time there. So for me, I would stay on site at Paris. If I was only going to Disney World for a small, like the first time you went a week, then that might be a bit different.
Duration's a key thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
so,
I agree with that.
but for Paris, I'm like, no, I'm here. I'm in this little Disney bubble.
Anyway, if you're staying over a week in one hotel room.
Yeah. And
Yes. Absolutely not.
And I think that's the thing, that we could do that in our first trip because the kids were a lot younger, whereas now they're like 14, nearly 14 and 16. It wouldn't work for us being in one room.
Especially in an all-star.
Yeah, that is true.
Are they slightly smaller rooms?
They
Do you
are.
know what?
But then
I don't think they are.
They are and they're not. So as you go up the stages of the Disney hotels, the bigger ones, the posher ones, they are bigger rooms, but they're not massively bigger.
No.
What you're paying for is closer and closer proximity and additional services.
Yeah.
And better decor.
Yeah, and actually I do think that there's something to be said there for the fact that it doesn't really seem to matter which Disney hotel you stay at. Your actual basic room
The
doesn't
layout and the
have
format,
huge amounts of
unless
changes.
you've got one of the posh bungalows or villas or something.
Yeah.
They're all pretty much the same layout.
They
They've
are.
all been built in the same format.
It's just the uplift slightly in terms of...
You upgrade to a door on the bathroom rather than a curtain.
Well, yeah, I think that's changed now though, because when we went there was a curtain. It wasn't on the bathroom though, it was a curtained area. There was
You get more food choices, you get more other services.
But saying that, Grand Floridian, when you eat in the Grand Floridian, a quick service restaurant, you still don't get a china plate.
No, you still get a paper plate.
You still get a paper plate. So, really, even though it's Grand Floridian, you'd think if you were eating in Grand Floridian quick service...
It's a bit like upgrading your flight. You get you go.
And you do when you go to Boardwalk. So I have no idea why when you stay in Grand Floridian you don't get proper plates.
Do you think with Boardwalk though it's because more people go down for the experience of the resort and being on Boardwalk and going to that bakery and hiring the things that I can't call
they're like pedalers, but they're not. Are they?
Bicycles.
Bicycle. And basically, it's like a surrey. No, not a surrey. Anyway, it's a thing with a canopy, and whichever poor person ends up cycling, pedalling, and everyone else just sits
up and
there.
down the boardwalk, which is actually not that long a journey, really, is it?
I don't know how long it takes Disney police to come and find and stop you.
Lead heads off.
There's only
That
one
would
way.
be a quicker way to get around the World Showcase.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
could you
unfortunately,
imagine that at the World Showcase?
our
That would be
current
brilliant.
levels
Get a
of
bullhorn in front of you.
our current levels
By the way.
of fitness probably mean that we wouldn't get very
Well,
far.
but we've
And
all
I
got
haven't
children.
cycled for about 30 years,
But
so
we've all got children with energy, so they can do it, and we'll just sit in the back. Rickshaws, they're like rickshaws, aren't they?
a bit, yeah.
Anyway, so we've gone completely.
Before we did
swung.
this, you said we should have a little paddle to
Yeah.
stay on target.
But it's all things like that though that you say, okay,
Yeah.
well Boardwalk isn't very long. It looks beautiful. Like I haven't really done much resort hopping, but is it one of those things that you can just say, I want to do it because then I've done it? Even if it might not live up to the hype.
It's a tick of things to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
potentially.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about like staying on property and which property we would want to stay on, and Grand Floridian has never been on our list of where we would want to stay.
Port Orleans, French
Apologies
Quarter.
to the people with the internet, but it's a bit waspy in there.
It's a little bit waspy. Port Orleans French Quarter is on our list, but that seems almost impossible to get because we were looking at. Well, you were doing.
We were looking at it today, and it's fully booked until 2027 already.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
So it's a really popular
Which
resort.
underlines our thought that it's the best
Actually,
one.
I need to correct that. It wasn't. It was fully booked via the Disney
Yes.
site,
Yes.
but Expedia and Virgin still had spots, so they must have already pre-booked a bunch of
Yeah, so I
rooms.
think I do
Okay.
So they
think that,
Right,
released
yeah.
them later.
yeah, I do think the travel companies hold a lot of spots in that one, because that for us, that resort for us was probably the one that we liked the most.
Well, that's where the beignets are.
It's where the beignets are, which sounds
and seriously,
ridiculous.
you don't understand.
No,
I'm not sure I
You
could
went
eat a
there, man.
beignet
You-
at the minute. Every time I
No.
see them in Tesco, other supermarkets are available. I always think how desperately disappointing they would be to you now, having eaten
well, the weird thing
those
about the
ones.
beignets is we did beignets in French Port Orleans and French
French Port
Quarter,
Orleans,
French Port Orleans.
You know
also
that's what
then
it's called
did-
now, don't you?
We did the beignets in Magic Kingdom because you can get beignets in Magic Kingdom. I think it's the Outpost next to Tiana's.
Yeah, it's near there.
I can't remember. Is it just called Outpost? I can't remember.
No, it's closer to Pirates.
It is closer to Pirates, but it's kind of between the two. And they do the beignets now. They are
Dry.
absolutely
Rubbish.
nothing in comparison to Port Orleans, and yet it's the same people making them. But I think what they do there is they ship them in and then they keep them warm. So when you get them, they're just dried out husks of dough, and they are really terrible. Like,
and you don't get the sauce there, do you?
No, you don't get. So they have a honey. They have a honey, hot honey. They not hot honey as in spicy honey.
Who wants that when you get caramel?
You get like a honey dipping thing or a honey drizzle. But they were just not nice at all, and hence why we then went back.
So it's disappointing.
Yeah.
But this is another thing that we do, is even when we've got no money at all, we go, let's just price up.
Yeah.
How much it would be.
It's a little something to take the edge off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it always
is.
Between Christmas and New Year. Between Christmas and New Year.
I know, hang on, I do it all.
It's
Hang on,
also
I do it all the
January
time. Like, what's going on here?
true.
Hardly a month goes by when I don't price up a Disney trip.
But I think it's worth it. You know, Disney is so expensive, and people will say, "Why do you keep going? Why do you keep going?" And you can't explain it.
No,
to
if they
people
haven't
in a
been, they
great
don't
way.
get it.
It's not necessarily expensive. I think it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's worth
Actually,
it.
I mean, if you're just talking about particularly like a Universal or Disney 14-day ticket,
Yeah.
compared to on the gate prices for the day,
Yeah.
we get an absolute steal.
Yeah, we do.
I think when we were there, the day price at Magic Kingdom for one day, no memory maker,
Yeah.
per person was like $220.
Yeah.
Wow.
You'd have a memory maker, that's another 50. You want to go to another park, that's another 100.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's restricted park, isn't it? To get
So
park
if
hopper
we
is
saw
more.
families of 8 turning up buying on the gate, I was like, that's
Yeah.
going to cost you over $1,000 for the day.
Where are you getting all your money
Well,
from?
exactly, what does that? Whereas a 14-day
Yes.
ticket that we buy,
Yeah.
whether you buy it through a Virgin or down from the Disney or wherever, Florida Ticks, etc. Yeah, they vary between 50 quid each way for a family of 4, for example. But it's about $40 per person per day.
Yeah.
Well, you see, I've had this argument with people as well, in that they go, "Oh, I love Alton." They might say, "I don't like theme parks." Well, you've only been to theme. This is not like going to
No,
theme
it's
parks
not.
in England. But if you go to Alton Towers, other theme parks are available. How much is it now? About 50, 60 quid a day. You can
about
often
I
get.
reckon it's north of that.
You can often get a buy one get one. It
Yeah.
used to be free,
Yeah.
but now it's half price. But it's open 9 till 5 and maybe 9 till 6 in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Most other things once you get in there are an extra charge.
Yeah.
It looks like,
Yeah.
can I put this in a way that's not going to get us into trouble?
I could always overdub it in the end.
No, but you're right.
It's not as well kept.
No,
It's not as well
there we
kept,
go.
and it's not as well staffed.
No,
it's
but
staffing
also,
is
and then
something.
you go to Disney, and sometimes they're open. I mean, I won't even talk about if you've got early entry because you're on site. Open at 8 or 9. Peaks it often open until like 10, 11 o'clock at night. You've got your fireworks. You've got 10 times more stuff. It's immaculate. There is staff everywhere. It's just simply not comparable.
No.
What you are getting for that money.
Apples and oranges, it's apples and banoffee pie.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, I
you're
like
absolutely
banoffee
right.
I want that now.
You're absolutely right. I think that is part of the joy of Disney, isn't it? And that is something that is really hard to put into words when people say, "Why do you keep going back so much?" It's the whole feel of it. It's the way it makes you feel. It's how pleasant people are to you. Not necessarily other
Guests?
guests.
They can vary.
Yeah, they can vary. But the Disney cast members, to give them their official name,
Official name.
they want to make your stay beautiful. They want to do everything they can. They're going to talk to you. And little experience like that really do put a kind of cap on your day. And we've had a couple of, I wouldn't say necessarily we've had Disney magic, Like, you know, when the cast members do something magical
witnessed
for
it,
you.
but, yeah.
We've witnessed it, yeah. But wouldn't had it. But we've had a couple of times where they've just gone that little bit further than they needed to go. So we've had, I think I was with you in Magic Kingdom when we got the
I was about
cheeseburger
to
spring
say the
rolls.
cheeseburger spring rolls, yeah.
And they gave us extra because they sold them to us when they shouldn't have because the cart was shutting down, and B, they gave us extra. I say us, I ate them.
Yeah, well, I tried one and I was like, I don't get it.
They were a bit dry. They were a little bit dried out because it was the end of the day, and it has
Been
the,
sat there,
the
but-
cheeseburger spring rolls have changed
Back on
now.
target.
Sorry, on target. So we had that, and then we had something in Magic Kingdom when we were there for the fireworks, and the lady saw my Rapunzel dress.
Yes.
I was wearing a Rapunzel
And then you
dress,
turned around.
and she was like, "I absolutely love your Rapunzel dress." And then I turned around and I had WandaVision on my backpack, and she was like, "And the backpack too." As I was walking away, she shouted it out.
Actually, she said, and a WandaVision backpack.
And actually, little things like that, where cast members do give you that little bit of a different feel.
I'd say there's an earlier example of that.
Yeah.
First trip, first day, getting in. When we were queuing up to get the Magic Band passes, getting
Yes.
things sorted out.
Yeah.
We were queuing up at that gate by the entrance.
Yeah.
And that other cast member came behind and started working the queue from the back.
Yes.
It just shows someone's gone, almost queued out, sort that
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
You
There's
would
no.
not get that at your towers.
Oh,
you
no.
would not get
I mean,
the
we've been-
17-year-old from
I
the
can't remember
comprehensive going.
Which
Not my
park,
problem.
which theme park it was in the UK that we went to, and we got
Chessington.
in, and they wouldn't. The coffee wasn't even open. The coffee shop wasn't even open at 9 o'clock in the morning because it was deemed it wasn't needed at 9. And it's like,
No, that's the time
would
you most need
You would never get that in a Disney park. You would never get that.
A couple of things I can think of, and I'm sure more would come to mind if I thought about it. When I went in 2017, I got a reservation at Be Our Guest for breakfast.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
yeah.
We'll talk about character
But
dinings. and things.
at the time, the only place you could get the grey stuff was
Yeah.
there. So I wanted, though it was breakfast, I was like, oh, I'm going to get a grey stuff cupcake. And then we went in and we paid and we sat down and we ordered. And she was like, oh no, if you want the grey stuff cupcake or anything great, you have to order it when you came in and order it. And I was like, okay, well, there's nothing I can do now then because I can't go back. And one of the other ladies with the trolley had overheard this conversation and she bought one to me as I was leaving.
See, we had similar with grey stuff because we went for breakfast and I didn't even know you had to say it, but they didn't give us a cupcake. She bought me a plate with the grey stuff piped onto it. Do you remember? And I was like,
I don't know if it's
Yeah.
different now,
Yeah,
but that's
it might
if
be
you're
very-
going to, you know, it's
might be
different
very
if you're
different.
having dinner there, I think, or maybe
Yes.
possibly even lunch, but for breakfast. I mean, I know it's cupcake for breakfast, but you're on holiday, for God's sake.
and also, you're in Be Our Guest. You want the grey stuff. It's why you've gone to Be Our Guest.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
And it's not cheap
theming-
as well.
The
Yeah.
grey sploosh.
The
Yeah.
grey sploosh, yeah. I mean, you know, the theming there is amazing, but we'll talk about the food and stuff in a different.
The other
video,
time
I
was
think.
when we went in 2017 and Smallest was not quite one. And at the time they had an evening show at Animal Kingdom. Was
Yeah,
it called
God.
Rivers of Light
Rivers
or
of Light.
something like that? And it was basically things floating on the water. And it was quite nice. It was quite like, I mean, it was later in the evening. It wasn't late, but Smallest had fallen asleep in the pushchair. I mean, like, I don't know what we're going to... And the guy saw us and he just went, right, come over here. And there was nobody booked in the VIP area. So he helped us carry the pushchair up there so that Lucas could stay asleep in the pushchair.
And that's the thing, Disney cast members, they are just a different breed.
Well, A, they're proactive, also they probably feel empowered to make a change,
Yeah.
to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get that at your Chessington or your Thorpe
No,
Park or whatever because
absolutely.
it's staffed by
Yeah.
the local comprehensive.
That's true. That's true. Nobody wants to be there. Whereas I think the cast members have fought to be there. So they make the most of it. Because it's not easy to get a job at Disney. You don't just rock up in the summer and go, I want to work at Disney. You know, there's Disney university programs, there's they're college programs they're called, aren't they? And there's so many hurdles you have to jump through. It's not easy to work at Disney to get the job.
So going back to your original question,
Stay on target.
which was why people want to go back, I think that answers the question.
Yeah.
A big part of it is actually people that run it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they're going to make it anywhere, aren't they? But they just, we watch quite a lot of vlogs between us, don't they? And I discovered recently Adam Hatton,
Yeah.
So I really like him, and so I've been watching some of his stuff. And he had a friend with him, and they went to, oh God, I can't remember now. It was one of the restaurants in Epcot, and I can't remember if it was either China or the Japan pavilion, and they had this like taster menu thing with about 10 or 12 courses. But the woman came out, she presented everything, she poured the drink, she got them some extra like drinks and things, she paired everything off, she told them all about the different experiences she had at home and why things were her favourites, and she poured her heart and soul into this. And it is, you know, you feel like they care, they genuinely want you to have good, and if they don't, they're bloody good actors.
Yeah.
So,
Either way works for people.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
And I do think people who haven't been will go, well, you know, they're looking for a tip, and they are looking for you to tip them, but they earn the tips. I mean, we had similar when we went to the Fennel restaurant, which we'll talk about later.
Oh,
we'll
yes.
actually name the Fennel. But kids are having a meltdown. One of the kids was having a meltdown. Harry was just not in a good way, and so the whole experience was slightly shaken for us. But they gave us a box with all the cookies in it. Do you remember?
that
we
now.
brought it back, didn't we?
Yeah.
And so they did go above and beyond. They did take the extra step, and like,
the waiting staff was good. The characters were great.
Yeah.
They tried with the little ones, but
Shame about the sausages.
same about
The fennel.
all the food.
the food in that one. Yeah, we will talk about.
I
that
don't know
in
if they
more
had a big thing
detail.
of fennel and they spilt it onto the plate or things like that.
I'm gonna say that, and this is slightly controversial. There is a
Hot
kind
take.
of fascination in America with certain ingredients.
Cinnamon.
So cinnamon is one. Peanut butter is the other.
Broccoli.
Yeah, well, I think it's the only veg that they can sort of standardly produce.
Wow.
No, but like it's broccoli or broccolini, which is the newest one. Which
Or
is like
maybe
the baby
green
broccoli.
beans.
Yeah, green beans. But they just have there are certain flavours, like the pog juice. You know, when you've got, which is what, pineapple, guava, and orange juice mixed. So if you're in certain places, it's pog juice, and if you go somewhere else, you get the same juice, but it's got a different name. But it's like they get this kind of fascination with a particular ingredient, and it's like we'll just keep making. The
Everybody
same thing.
loves whatever this is.
Yeah. So we talked about that's why Disney was so special and why we go back again and again.
I think I've got like one more thing
Go
to
for it.
add to that. So, and I only thought about this because obviously last summer you guys went to Orlando and we went back to Paris, and I hadn't been to Paris for 10 years. And whilst I was there, I was kind of thinking, oh, you're in this bubble and it's amazing. And I get stressed and I overthink everything.
No.
I know. I hide it well. Whilst the squirrels abound, but and I still worry about, are the kids all right, and says how much, you know, how was the money going, have we eaten yet, and so I still, but I think it's because when my brain just goes constantly all the time, it slows down because you're in just a different world.
Yeah.
And you're not at home, so all the things you have to worry about at home, like work and school runs and I need to do the washing or all of those things, you can't do those because you're not at home. And I know that could happen if you went to Tenerife or Cornwall or somewhere else.
Yeah.
But it's just, they've done their best to sort of, you're in reality because you're eating and you're walking, but you are in a different world. And it is one of those things, like you said earlier, if you haven't been, you just can't imagine it, and you try and describe it to people, but you can't.
No, and that is.
So if you haven't been,
I think that's the hardest thing, isn't it? When people go, "Why do you keep going?" and you kind of go, "I can't even tell you.
Or
I can't even
you've been once,
explain
why
it."
are you going again?
Yeah, like you've eaten breakfast. Why do you keep doing it?
well, no, but if I'm like, we've been to Cornwall quite a lot, and if you say to someone says, "Oh, where are you going?" We say, "Oh, we're going to Cornwall." They go, "Oh, I love Cornwall. It's great." See also Mallorca, Tenerife.
Yeah.
So why is it okay to go there every year or
Yeah.
300 times, but
Same.
it's not okay to go back
Because
to
of the
Disney
cost.
300
There's a
times?
cost.
Because of the cost.
Yeah.
Because people think it's like a once in a lifetime holiday. And
Well, I
can
thought that
argue
the
with
first time I went.
Yeah, yeah.
So do most people.
And I do think it's worth sort of explaining to that
At the
people
moment,
out there.
the people of the internet.
People of the internet. That there is a huge amount of neurodivergency in our group, in our collective families. So, I don't know how much you want to talk about.
It's the standard.
Yeah, we are pretty much.
It's not too much.
I think there's myself and your other half who probably aren't as neurodivergent, spicy.
Neurospicy.
We're not as neurospicy as the rest of you guys, but we have got sat on the couch. We've got autism and ADHD.
Squirrels,
which is ADHD. Collectively, children with diagnosis, we've got one each with diagnosis and one each that doesn't have diagnosis, but we're pretty sure.
Well, our smallest is going through diagnosis at the moment.
Yeah.
Eldest is diagnosed with ASD, but is waiting for ADHD and OCD.
Yeah.
So we're in the system.
So whereas ours is the eldest isn't diagnosed, but we're fairly confident, and our youngest is diagnosed with ADHD.
Undiagnosed, but everyone knows.
Yeah. And our youngest is autistic with
And maybe that brings to
complicated
the other
needs.
point, which is when you're in a place like that, you feel safe.
Yeah.
And they understand, they want to make it. If they see a kid having a meltdown, they're going to go, what can we do?
There is no judgment from any cast member when children with additional, I hate saying additional needs because it's such a crappy phrase, but when the children with neurodivergent needs, when something happens, they do their best to not point it out. Whereas if you're like, if we were, say, in Alton Towers, other theme parks are available, keep saying that,
They're also rubbish.
and perhaps our youngest had a meltdown at a younger age, perhaps not now, but at a younger age, they would stare. Cast members would stare or make it obvious what was happening. Whereas with our youngest, when we did our second trip to Disney, something had happened and her autism had flipped and turned up, and we don't quite know what that was, who knows. But whereas the first trip she was quite content to meet characters, the second trip she was a little bit more reserved and she got very focused on getting signatures, and like they'd be talking to her and she wouldn't engage with them because all she could do was stare at the autograph book because they weren't signing the book in that split second. So I would quite often be in the queue and sort of say to the cast members running the queue, autistic, and they would then
Did you say it like that?
Yeah, I just went autistic. No, but I would say, she's not gonna respond in the way that the character might want her to. And I don't know how they communicated that to the character, but every time they did it, that character knew to speak differently to her, and like just to sign straight away, to not expect her to do the pose, especially the characters that don't have voices, where it's like they're wearing the costume.
The Edna Mode and
the Edna Mode and the
No
Olaf
one's wearing the costume.
Yeah, no one's. Yeah, sorry.
No one's wearing the costume.
It is really.
oh yeah,
Olaf.
they're real. There's not someone inside sweating.
Particularly those, because she had a thing about a lot of the.
I said there wasn't.
Okay.
She had a thing about a lot of the Disney Junior characters that she wanted to meet, and they are all kind of costumed, and I don't know how they communicated them, but they would always want to do poses, and she was like, "No, I'm not going to do a pose."
And maybe they have like signals or something, like how the.
Or it might just be just get on with it.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it was,
Move along.
it is magical. So yeah, I thought it was important that we
Not much stuff in, move on.
Yeah.
Well, apparently the Queen used to hold her handbag in different ways, and that meant different things. So maybe it's kind of they have a gesture of like.
There's definitely some way they communicate, because it was obviously handled in such a special way, which made it not feel awkward or tense. So yeah, I thought it was important.
So have we got a list of reasons why people go back?
We've talked.
Those
we've
reasons.
Talked, yeah,
those
sorry,
reasons that we just
summary.
reasoned.
Yeah, I suppose, like we said, it's just the whole thing is special.
In summary, we can't tell you.
No, in summary, we can't tell you.
There
we
is
can just
no
tell you once you go. You'll
Did you
know.
enjoy it?
something and go.
Yeah.
That was a lot of words to say. We don't know.
It's a feeling.
It is. It is.
It is a
yeah.
feeling.
Yeah.
What is this feeling?
It's just a thing.
Yeah.
Book a trip. We can advise a good way to do that, but that's another story.